I know we're only August, it's like August 3rd when I'm filming this. And I'm already on my second book of August, so that since we're in the first few days of August, it means July has ended and it's time for a July wrap up. I have not read that many books. I read like 4 books in July. But to be fair, I am coming out of a reading slump that has like been there for several months, so I'm happy I'm getting out of there. On top of that, the first book I read in July is an ebook, which is to me always a slower read than a physical book because, well, I don't know, I get distracted easier, I guess. But the first book I read in July is Morana the Curse. Ooh, my books are falling. Which was an ARC. I got that as an ARC, so thank you so much. It's written by Silvene, which, by the way, that story is such a good story. It's about a set of twins, and one of them is a princess with healing powers, and the other one is an assassin with necromancy powers, which basically means she can manipulate the movements of dead people or bones, which is actually quite cool to read about. And then this like curse activates around the island because they're twins, right? It's a necromancer curse that gets activated. Nobody can leave the island, nobody can come on the island, and while it is activated, the people on the island actually die one by one, except for the royal family. The royal family doesn't die. And to stop this whole curse from happening, one of the twins needs to die. But here's the plot twist. Nobody can kill them because every time you try to kill them, they'll come back to life, because the only one who can kill the twins is the other twin. It's a dual POV, there's like a sapphic story, which honestly I loved a lot. Because it's not too, like, it's not sapphic to make it sapphic. No, it's actually part of the story. I love that kind of representation. I love it. I love representation when it's not just there to be there, you know? It's good. It's really good. Then the second book I read in July, Wild Reverence. It's perfect. Whereas Divine Rivals and Rootless Vow is more like World War II setting, Wild Reverence is more like, I think it's Middle Ages. It's, you just need to read it for yourself. It's perfect. The story literally starts, well, when Matilda is born and how she got her name. It talks about her powers, but that there's something happening with her powers as well, and she's the only goddess who can enter all realms, which is again amazing. It's a must read. If you love fantasy and you love romance, it's a must. Even if you don't love romance, if you just love fantasy or books with like a lot of action and fighting, her adoptive father is literally the god of war, and she actually is great at fighting a war. Honestly, she might be the most cleverest god amongst all of them. It is worth a read, believe me. Rebecca Ross is just an amazing author. I give this a 5-star as well. Then the next book is, well, it got recommended by me, to me by a friend. It's The Naturals. Yeah, I have thoughts. I gave it a 3.5, I think. Yes, a 3.5. It's basically it reads like a fan fiction in 2016 on Wattpad for Criminal Minds. Which does not mean it's a badly written book, because honestly there are some fan fiction on Wattpad that's like real literature, if you get what I mean. But yeah, it's just an easy read. I finished this in 2 days. It reads real fast. It's a great palate cleanser, honestly. It's a no-brain book. Like, you don't have to think at all while reading this book. But it's about Cassie, and Cassie has this like special gift to understand people's mind. It's basically a profiler if you have watched The Criminal Minds. The only thing with this book is I don't like the romance. Why was the romance needed? Why was it needed? This book would have been just so much better without the romance. It would have just been about teenagers and their friendship, well, troubled teenagers who are trying to somehow make their friendship work, and it would have been so much better than what it is now. It is actually written for young adults. It's very clearly written for young adults. The English language in it is very easy, so if you're not used to reading in English and you want to read in English, you can start with the naturals. It's good for that. Then the last book I read in July is a book that I actually got from someone who's probably watching this. So if you are, I am so sorry it took me so long to actually finish this book, but it's a really good book, and thank you again for getting it for me. It's They Both Die in the End, which is honestly a 5-star read. It's amazing. I love Adam Silvera. I love how he makes me care about these characters and makes me hope that they survive, and in the end we all know they're gonna die, which is really great. I love a good tragedy. But in this book we follow Matteo and Rufus. And Matteo, he's really scared to leave his apartment because he's scared something might happen, while Rufus is a little more brute. And they both get like the call. Matteo's like, I have not lived my life. Let me live my life in one day, because they only have 24 hours to live. And as Rufus is like, oh, I'm gonna die. Shit. And then he wants a funeral, and then his funeral got interrupted, and then for different reasons they both end up on this app, Last Friend. And they find each other and they create this whole day together as to how perfect day to end your life with, actually. And in the end, you wish they live, and you start hoping that they might. And then when Matteo died, I was actually literally screaming at the pages, like, that's not how you die. That's not how you die. I had to close the book. I had to like think about it, and then I realized that the way Matteo died, that's probably how I would die. Most likely in this same scenario. Yes, I would die like that. If you know, you know. And then Rufus as well. I was crying when it happened. It's 100% a 5-star read. Actually recommended. I also love how like Adam Silvera is so good at like showing how everyone's lives is intertwined with one another, how one decision can make someone's day or break it, how just a stranger on the street smiling at you can actually make your day so much better. He is so good at just writing queer characters as well. Yeah, I love a good Adam Silvera book. I do. I have read The First to Die in the End, which is the prequel to this one, because I could not find They Both Die in the End at the time. And that was also a 5-star read for me. I love this. I love Adam Silvera books. I can't wait to read the sequel, The Survivor Wants to Die in the End. It's definitely on my radar. I will be probably reading it soon. It's amazing how somebody can write that well. And also the chapters aren't that long, because you keep switching point of view. But like, this all of it happened in 24 hours. And it's like a book that you binge, you know? You keep reading it until it's finished, and it's worth of your time, I promise you. If you don't know what to read, you should read They Both Die in the End, if you haven't read it already. Those are my opinions on the books I read in July. Everybody reads on their own pace. Like, it doesn't matter how much you read in a month.